Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama was the first person to successfully sail from Europe around Africa to Southeast Asia. Vasco da Gama was the one who opened up the maritime trade routes between Europe and Asia. In my view, is going through the South Atlantic and around Cape was equivalent to our putting a man in the moon. Born to a noble family in Siena, Portugal around 1469, Vasco da Gama took sea at an early age. Vasco da Gama worked on merchant ships in the king's service, learning how to be a navigator, learning all the things that he would later need to know in order to command an expedition. In the Gama learned a commission to find sea route to India and set sail with four-ship expedition in July of 1497 from Lisbon down the coast of Africa. So the prevailing winds moved north. You're trying to sail south. The Gama sailed out into the Atlantic, basically almost as fast as Brazil. Once there, the Gama was able to use the prevailing south winds to take him to go south past Africa. What's historic about the Gama voyage around Cape Good Hope is precisely that the Gama figure out how to do this. He is the first one successfully to get into the Indian Ocean worked his way up the coast of East Africa and ultimately reach India. The water route from Europe to Asia was very important because it gave direct access to spices of the Far East. Vasco da Gama is welcomed as a hero on his return to Lisbon on, in 1499 because the profits made from the goods that he has brought back from India demonstrates the wealthy that could be achieved from these new routes linking Portugal directly with Indian Ocean markets. The Gama covered more than 24,000 miles in his historic trip to India, and of the 170 original crew members, only 55 made it home alive. In 1502, King Manuel tapped da Gama to lead his larger expeditions again and initiate trade directly between Portugal and the spice market on India. These expeditions, from the Portuguese point of view, is a success because Gama is able to force his way into the market. And when I say force, I mean using cannons to literally blast his way into the harbors and force the rulers to trade with him. Upon da Gama's return to Portugal 2 years later, he retired from explorations and became King Manuel's advisor. However, in 1522-24, the new King John III persuaded him to return to India to become his viceroy. He died in India in 1538 because Vasco da Gama found his route to India. He succeeded in making Portugal principal suppliers of high profits luxury commodities like pearls to the European market. This in turn made the Portuguese state extremely wealthy and turned Portugal into a great power